I know everyone's been bitching about it since the game came out, guys, but it's time to lower the skill-based matchmaking. I mean, it is. This is not fun. Okay? This is not fun. I know we want the kids that have never played Call of Duty before to be in a safe space. But please stop alienating the people that have been playing your game for over a decade. This is not an enjoyable experience, especially trying to get the challenges done on these weapons. You got me trying to get point-blank kills against 6 scumps on the other team. We're using jammers. Everybody's got a fucking score streak because it's participation and not skill. Hey, man, you log into the game. No matter, you're going to get a cruise missile, brother. Don't worry.
It really is no surprise that pretty much every player that is good at this game, most pros, are getting sick of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. They're getting sick of the skill-based matchmaking system. It's making them hate a game they fell in love with. And NADESHOT is right. Activision, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, I don't care who it is, but at some point they have to get through their thick skulls. The people that made you what you are today are the veterans that have been playing for the last 10 years. Stop alienating them. You would not be here without them. You would not have the Call of Duty League scene if it wasn't for guys like NADESHOT, if it wasn't for guys like Scump. So stop alienating them in pub matches. Stop hurting your casual player base, your regular player base that made you all millionaires for the new players, because in their opinion, new players spend more money. Well, you know what? You know who's been buying this game for 10 years? If not longer in some people's cases? The veterans. At some point, what do we get out of this? What do we get out of this system? Nothing. All you're making us do is want to leave your game, not want to play it, not want to enjoy it. Is that really good business? Do you want people to leave your business? Do you want satisfied customers to leave? We've been satisfied with Call of Duty for years, and we've gone through this shit. We've gone through the Call of Duty Ghosts, the Advanced Warfares, the Infinite Warfares. We've gone through those games. These new players that came in, maybe their first game was World War II, maybe their first game was Modern Warfare 2019, they're what you want to cater the game to? That's not how this should work. You should be catering the game not just to them, but also to us. It shouldn't be a one-way street. It shouldn't just be focusing on new players. It should be focusing on your entire player base. This is what Halo did wrong with Halos 4 and 5. They've done too much to make the skill gap lessen. They want less skill gap, and that's what these companies want. Once they witness that there's some skill gap somewhere in their games, they want to decrease it as much as possible because they cannot have skill gap, because they cannot have bad players and good players. They do not want that. And it's very clear that skill-based matchmaking and what Activision and Treyarch and Infinity Ward are all in cahoots doing is they want to protect these new players because they don't want them to be exposed to the other tiers of players, the good players, players that they can learn from and get better from. That's why I got good at Call of Duty, is by watching guys like NADESHOT and Scump and Hutch and Hex and the old men of Optic. That's how I got good at Call of Duty. How I understand the way Call of Duty works now competitively is from guys like NADESHOT, Scump, Crim6, whomever else. There's a lot of pros out there. But right now you are alienating your best players because you've created a system that hurts them, that makes their matches harder, that makes their games harder, and makes the entire experience less fun. I honestly hope Season 1 is an absolute travesty. It's a catastrophe. I hope you get bottomed out sales. I hope no one buys this thing, because no one should. I'm going to do a separate video talking about that later on next week, but the point still stands. I am sick of hearing people complain about skill-based matchmaking and nothing being said about it, nothing being mentioned about it from Treyarch or from Activision. Not saying, hey, pro players, the guys that are drawing in, hundreds of thousands of views every single video, we're sorry, we got to do something about this. No, it's not about those guys. They don't want to help the guys that are creating all the buzz about your game, that are literally marketing the game for you for free, Granted, they're getting paid from YouTube or they're paid promotions, but they're marketing this game for you for free. And instead of being like, okay, you know what, we're gonna make a classic matchmaking. Instead of making classic matchmaking, like, we're gonna stay silent about this. We're just gonna be Anne Frank on this side here. You know, we're gonna pretend skill-based matchmaking are the Nazis, and we're Anne Frank. We're not gonna say a thing. We're not gonna say a thing. We're gonna pretend it doesn't exist. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna. They know it's there. They know it's there. But no, we're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. And maybe the problem will just go away. Players will just learn to deal with it. It's gonna be the new thing. There isn't one game that has implemented skill-based matchmaking, thick skill-based matchmaking, that people haven't been frustrated by, whether it's a game like Apex Legends, or Fortnite, or Call of Duty. No one likes skill-based matchmaking that doesn't reward the players. The reason why Halo popped off in the 2000s with Halo 1, 2, and 3 was it had skill-based matchmaking, but it also had a reward system. You know, Halo 1 didn't have it, but Halo 2s and 3 definitely did. It meant something if you were level 50. It meant something if you had a 45. It meant something if your highest skill was a 25, but you had all this XP. It meant you weren't as good at the game. It was a point of pride. There's no point of pride in this game. Stats don't flippin' matter because it's all about who you play. It's not about how good you are. It's how good was the competition you played against. Because there's guys that are touting 1.8 KDs, meanwhile there are hundreds of pros that are probably touting around the same amount of kill death ratio. And I guarantee you they're 3-4 times the player of that other guy that's holding a 1.8 KD. But it's all about difficulty of opponents. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. They're 11-0. Have you seen their schedule? Talk about skill-based matchmaking. Holy smokes. They are getting the runts of the litter. They are getting the easiest schedule out there. I'm not saying they're not a good team, and that's not what I'm saying about guys who get easy lobbies and skill-based matchmaking. What I am seeing and saying, though, is sometimes your stats are based on who you play. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are a perfect example of a team that has had a baby schedule. A baby schedule. They haven't played anyone good. They just barely beat the Baltimore Ravens, who are using a third-string quarterback, who are using their third-string running back, arguably, but third-string J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram were both out with COVID. They didn't have their starting tight end, and they were missing, another 9 starters or something like that? They're phony, and it's the same as your 1.7 KD and thinking you're better than Scump or as good as him. No, it's all about difficulty of matchup here. But the main point that I'm trying to make, if I can just meander this back to NADESHOT'S point, at some point you gotta start doing something to reward the veteran players, or at least throw us a flippin' bone instead of being like, you know what, we're gonna bring back Raid in season 1. That's great. I don't care. What are you gonna do to fix skill-based matchmaking? What are you gonna do to make this game more fun? Because just bringing back Raid isn't necessarily gonna make this game more fun. It's just showing us once again, you don't have the competency to make good maps. All you can do is regurgitate maps you've already made of games that were far better than this one, far superior than this one. To even take a map from a game like Black Ops 2 and tout it in this game is a slap in the face to the legacy that was Black Ops 2. They don't even hold candles to each other. Black Ops 2 is the major leagues, and this is single A ball down here. You're thinking the single A ball player can even play in the same, even hold the jockstrap of a major leaguer? You've got to be kidding me. That's the way I feel between these two games, especially when you go from Cold War to Black Ops 2. There's just no comparison. The game is just such a far superior game. Black Ops 2, that is, not Cold War. Are you kidding me? Look at the skill-based matchmaking. Call of Duty has a track record of fixing things that aren't broken. I'm going to talk about that in another video as well. I'm honestly just throwing tidbits out there of what's going to be on this channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you've enjoyed the video so far, hit the like button. I will do another reminder at the end of the video, but that's my mid-video plug, or close to the end plug. But at some point, we've been a part of this franchise. For me, 13 years. For some, longer. Maybe Call of Duty 2 tickled their fancy back in the day. Whatever it is. But when you've invested this much time, this much money, or in the case of guys like NADESHOT, Guys like Nero Cinema, guys like Pomage that have actually won money off this game, but invested even more time than I can even imagine to be rewarded in such a negative fashion is just insulting. And that's the way I feel right now about Black Ops Cold War. Is it's insulting to the veteran players, it's insulting to the pro players, and it's insulting to everybody that has 2 thumbs and can count to 100 both forwards and backwards. If you have a bedtime, the game should not be catered to you. Okay? If you can choose your own bedtime, I think the game should be catered to you a little bit. Especially if your bedtime is revolved around when your stream is on. Especially if your bedtime is revolving around when your pro team can scrim. Maybe the game should have some mechanics involved in it that are centered around that. Especially if you want to promote something like COD World League. Especially if you want to promote something like streaming. I don't know, Call of Duty. These are just free business tips I'm giving you right now. Maybe you don't need it, but I think you might. Because you know what? You've pissed off enough of our veterans right now. Veteran Call of Duty players. You've pissed off enough veteran Call of Duty players at this point. I would be shocked if people are flocking to buy the next one, and I'm going to be shocked if people go flock to buy Season 1 of your Black Ops Pass, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But you know what the worst part is? All the protected players are the ones that are going to buy the pass. And that's the problem, is we don't spend the money. The veteran players don't spend the money, but the new players do. So hey, it's all about the new players. And that's why they create every system for the new players. Because we just don't spend as much capital as they do. And that's it, guys. That's the video. I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm sure you are too. If you feel the way I do, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.